Good to be together. We've been getting together every day for quite a while now, and I enjoy these times together. Hope you're not getting too tired of my voice. And a couple of you asked me about communion, because I know we come from different churches, and we come from different traditions and different religions, and one of the things that I miss on Sunday morning, and I'm beginning to enjoy our time Sunday morning because I can picture you being here, but I miss gathering around the altar to share the Lord's Supper, and to watch everybody walk up and kneel or stand and to share the gifts with you is such a personal delight and an honor. But the way we're doing it now is I tell you, if you'd like, get a cracker or a piece of bread, get a little cup of wine or some juice, and when we lift up the bread and lift up the cup on Sunday morning, even though you're not here, lift it up in your kitchen or your living room, wherever you are, on your back porch, and taste that bread and taste the juice or taste the wine, because that's as real as it gets. Because I've learned that communion, the Lord's Supper, it's not about religion. It's not about what church you're in or even who you are, how old you are. It's about receiving the gift. And when Jesus had his banquet, he said, "Go out into the highways and the byways and invite everybody to come to my table." And that's the kind of spirit that has become even deeper and richer in this time of separation and yet somehow spiritually being together. A nice passage for today from Jeremiah, the 29th chapter. He says, "For I know the plans that I have to you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, to not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." God gives us a hope, and God gives us a future. And today, with all we've been going through, I know for many people the hope gets a little wrinkled, and the future gets a little uncertain. And yet, in the middle of all that, we know that the good Lord holds us in the palm of his hand. He hopes with us, cries with us, and laughs with us every step of the way. I'm not sure if you spend a little more time just reflecting about who you are and what you are and how this whole journey has affected you. After church, the few people that were here to help put on our our worship service, we sat and we were talking, and one of the gentlemen who helps us with the camera work, he's a relatively new guy to our church, and we were talking. He says, "Don't forget, your relative Ronnie, he's the one that told me to visit your church about 1.5 or 2 years ago, and if it wasn't for that little suggestion, I wouldn't be here." And then Joel said, "I'd like to tell you something about my friend Ronnie." And I said, "Well, tell me." And he said, "Well, we were on the same softball team a few years ago. And whenever I got a single, when I was on first base, all I could think about was getting to second base and then getting to third base, stealing a base. Whenever Ronnie got a single," he said, "Ronnie was content to be at first base. I don't need to steal second. I don't need to steal third. I'm just happy to be here at first base. And if somebody gets another hit and pushes me along, I'm grateful. But I like just being here." And I thought to myself, so often, if I'm on first base, I want to be on second base or third base. If I'm here, I'm thinking about where I need to be next. And the more I think about what Joel told me yesterday, the more I think about I want to be a little bit more like Ronnie maybe and be content and grateful for where I am. Right now, I'm on first base. This is my sanctuary. I'm happy to be here. A little while ago, I was visiting somebody who's very, very sick in hospice care. And as I prayed with her and her kids, I thought to myself, this is first base. I'm content to be here. I don't need to be anywhere else. And a little bit later on, when I go somewhere else, when I get home, when I sit in my chair and look at my flag in the front yard, I don't want to think about where I need to be next or where I wish I could be. That's my sanctuary. That's first base. That's where I'm content to be. I know now, in these moderately troubled times, maybe we're not content where we are. We want things to be different. We want to get to second base or third base or maybe even hit a home run. And maybe that day will come. In the meantime, wherever you are, wherever I am, that's where I need to be. God gives us purpose. God gives us hope. God gives us a measure of strength to accept where we are and yet to work for even a better future. Yes, we are together, now more than ever. Thanks for sharing this time. May God journey with you through the rest of your day and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you. And remember that cup of hope. Amen.